Hello, everybody. It's Saberwolf, and something a little different today. I don't know why that camera was over there. So a little bit different today. Now, one thing you guys don't know much about me that I haven't really played on here very much is Pokemon. I am a little bit of an aficionado when it comes to Pokemon. Now, that is to say that I don't play competitive Pokemon. Like, I don't go to like tournaments and stuff like that. What I'm saying is that I actually do play Pokemon. I play PvE Pokemon specifically, and and I will stay up late at night trying to figure out what is the best team for me to play as when I go through the entire game. And one thing that we have coming up soon is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That's going to be the next iteration or generation of Pokemon. I believe this is Gen, what is it, like 9 now? I've lost count how many generations we've had so far. And hey, thank you for joining the pack there. Shout out for Mr. Chubb. Thank you for that. Uh, actually, here, let me bring up a chat box so I can actually see you guys chat. There we go. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about a little bit about the starter Pokemon and something that actually leaked out a little bit. An informant, I guess you could say, to the community, or an insider into the Pokemon company. They go by the name of, I believe it's Riddles Kun or Riddles Khan, one or the other. It depends on how you pronounce it. And they actually drop riddles on some of the information about Pokemon before it's released. Now, this particular source or leak source is usually very reliable. Usually, anything that they leak out within months before it's actually announced is what happens actually when it actually is officially released, or the information is at least. So, going off that information from this particular leak person, we're going to talk about what the final evolution, what the skills and like stuff for the final evolution for the three starters. Of course, the three starter Pokemon is Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. So we're going to go into a little bit about them and how we're going to do that. Well, actually, how we're going to go about doing is I'm going to use my handy dandy phone, and we are going to talk about the three big Pokemon right here. But first and foremost, we're going to go in order. We're going to talk about Sprigato, then we're going to talk about Quaxley, and then we're going to talk about Fuecoco. Now, so first and foremost, we're going to talk about Sprigato. Now, according to this source, that again from they go by Riddles Khan or Riddles Kun, that Sprigato is going to be a grass dark type in their final evolution. Now we're talking about the final evolution form. Of course, their early form is going to be the grass, water, fire that they've always been throughout the entire series, with the exception of the Eevee thing. But we don't talk about that one. That's completely different than the normal series of two color, sometimes three color releases, because we did have red, yellow, green, blue there. But generally, there's only two releases. There's always a blue, purple, or red, purple, red, blue, whatever. Again, we're going back to the whole red, blue, red, purple again. So they're always going to be grass, water, fire. But the final form of this is supposed to be, according to the source, grass, dark. So what does that mean? So let's talk about defensive wise. Like, what's going to be this weakness to? So we know this is grass, and apparently it's going to be dark type. So using our phone, I'm using two applications. I'm using Pokédex, which is available as an app, and I'm also using I forget the name of this Poke Type Calculator. So these are the two things we're going to be using to talk about what we have here. So for Grass Dark, what are we talking about here? We're talking about 4 times weakness to Bug type. That could be a little bit difficult in the early game because Bug is very there's a lot of bugs that you find in the early game throughout the entire series. So that means that this type is going to be very weak to bug types. And since those are predominantly throughout the really early game, evolving this to its final form early will be a little bit of a weakness because it's going to do 4 times the damage to you. So beware of that. It's also going to be weak to fighting, flying, poison, fire, ice, and fairy. But it's going to be really good against ground, ghost, water, grass, electric, and dark, and it's actually immune to psychic. Now, so Of course, for early starters, when you pick your early starters, you really want to see what the first one or even two gyms are going to be. So if the first gym's going to be water, you're pretty much automatically going to try to find something that's going to be really effective against it, which is going to be grass. The only problem with this one is, again, it has a lot of weaknesses, though. It has 6 weaknesses. It does have double weakness on bugs, so it's actually has 7 weaknesses. But again, it does have 7 strengths with normal, rock, steel, and dragon. Not really that common. There's going to be just plain regular damage. That's not really that common. So really, you have to worry about is fire, fighting. A lot of things use fighting. Fairy has been popping up a lot more recently, and bug. So those are the ones we kind of have to worry about a little bit there, for the early game. But yeah. So what are we talking about moves? We're talking about moves. So what other Pokemon in the game uses grass and dark types? Well, that we can reference for other movesets. Well, we can do that. I was doing some early research here, so that's why you see Polygraph there. So one of the ones we do know that is grass dark is Shiftry. Shiftry is a grass dark type. It actually gets grass dark type in a evolution before that. So what about moves for this? Well, for moves, we're looking at, let's see, Sunny Day for slower play. Does have Shadow Ball possibly, because dark types do cross over into ghost types a lot. So we do have that option for us as well. Here, let me pull chat over here so it actually looks like I'm looking at the camera. So you might see a lot of ghost types. So Ghost Ball could be a possibility, or we could have the Ghost Slashing move maybe. Dark Pulse would be an option. I don't think X Scissor is going to be an option though, unless we have something else. Fighting moves possibly. The thing about this is we're looking at Grass Dark here. The whole idea of another Incineroar is coming to mind here, although it doesn't necessarily have to be the bipedal portion here. I mean, like we did with Shiftry here, we see on screen here. It might not be that way, so we kind of have to wonder about this. We're obviously going to probably have Scratch and Slash, which is pretty common for these kind of Pokemon. Brick Break might be an option that we have in here. Of course, we get Shadow Ball again. So I'm thinking, and also Energy Ball, Shadow Ball. So I'm thinking like maybe like we have some sort of like play on maybe some balls of yarn. Maybe because we could do like because we could do Energy Ball and Shadow Ball or something like that. Kind of like a spoof here, I guess you could say. So yeah. And of course, for dark moves, Dark Pulse. We're going to have there. So yeah, that's all the pretty much moves to that. So now let's go back to our thing. We can go to offense now. So we know that we have, we know we have grass and we know we have dark. So we have 33% coverage right now, according to the Pokemon type calculator. Now this is general. This is general cover in the forums. This not necessarily means that there are some forums out there like Shingdala, who are basically mean almost everything. So it's not going to be fine-tuned to that point. But it is, for the most part, we are going to be targeting, in general, what we're going to hit for types here. So it's not quite as exact, but we get a really good idea what we're going for here. So Grass Dark here. We're probably going to see maybe some fighting moves. We like Brick Break a lot. I love Brick Break a lot, so we really want to try to have that fighting as the light goes out for me. So I'm going to switch to my backup light now. There we go. All right. And so we were hoping for fighting, because fighting does do a lot of coverage. Fighting covers a lot of different weaknesses. Now, always the question is, what is that fourth one going to be? Well, the fourth one can always be a utility skill, like Reflect or something like that. For me, generally, because I play a PvP, I play PvP personally. A PvE, rather. I play specifically PvE. So, in that respect, I'm actually going to move my camera just a little bit here. Going to see a little bit of the background there. So, there we go. So I play PvE, so I really go with like 4 straight up skills. I don't really play any utility skills or throwaway skills per se, because it's more just PvE is like you just smash the person in the face until they die. Basically, that's what PvE is in this game. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for possibly ground. That gives us like 65% coverage. Fairy, 62, not that great. Ghost is only 1% more. I mean, let's see. Poison sometimes goes hand in grass at 63%. So what are we looking at here? Well, we usually find a lot of ghost moves with dark moves. So let's hope for that we can have some sort of ghost slash or Shadowball ability. So let's switch from dark to ghost for that 1% increase there for 53%. And hopefully we can get some ice. Now ice will give us the 73% coverage because we want to shoot for that 70% coverage or higher when we go play this PvE style. So we can hope for ice. I don't think ice is going to be in there, though. I'm probably going to be looking at ground here for a 66% coverage. So I think that's the best we're going to get out of that. You're going to see a lot of fighting ground from me. Fighting ground ghost, fighting ground psychic, fighting ground dark. That covers fighting ground and dark and psychic or ghost covers a lot of range of various Pokemon types. Yes, you do have a little bit more specialization where it can go ice electric or something like that. But in general, we're looking at that. So far as we could say, we're looking at fighting ghost and grass. That's half the coverage, 50%. We're going to be effective against normal, ground, rock, ghost, steel, water, psychic, ice, and dark. And we're going to be basic against fighting, flying, poison, bug, fire, grass, electric, dragon, and fairy. Now, not necessarily per type. If we're going to have a weakness against a specific type, we have to use a different application for that. Unfortunately, that application doesn't translate well through this, so I'm not using it right now. So we're just going to go basic overview, rather. I'll say the words correctly one of these times. So that's generally what we're looking at here. So yeah. So again, leaving one open, could get steel in there. We could see. We're hoping for ice. Fairy is a possibility, but again, we're dealing with dark, so it might not be the case. Bugs probably not an optional thing. That's very specific with X Scissor. Probably it's going to end up being poison or ground. That's probably what we're looking at here. So that's Sprigato in a nutshell, we hope. But we do know from this leak, it's not official yet, but according to this leak, it will be grass dark for this one. Right, guys? So let's go back. I'm going to reset here. And let's go move on to Quaxly. Now, Quaxly, star type is water. What we know is, according to this leak, is that apparently it's going to be water fighting. Yeah, it's going to be another Urshifu. One of the Urshifu forms was fighting dark or fighting water. So we have another fighting water type. This goes hand in hand with, again, the Incineroar, because the Incineroar is popping up, and the roots of Incineroar is popping up in this new iteration. So instead of being fire fighting, it's going to be water fighting. So what do we have for coverage for that? Well, for water fighting, we are looking at double damage against flying, grass, electric, psychic, and fairy. And we are strong against rock, bug, steel, fire, water, ice, and dark. That's actually pretty good. We're only weak against 5 things, and we're strong against 7. We're strong against 7 different things, and we take basic damage from normal fighting, poison, drown, ghost, and dragon. And we can actually say that we are actually good against fighting, because being a fighting base, we can do double damage against normal. Ghost is going to be a little bit of a problem, and also ground's going to be a little bit of a problem. I think fighting's also weak against fighting, too. I think fighting... No, it's not. It's the same. But yeah, so we can actually take out normal there, too. So we're only basically weak to really flying, grass, and psychic. Those are the ones we really have to worry about. And fairy, again, is popping up a lot recently. So, and electric with anything with water, yeah. So, well, let's see. Well, so what other Pokemon have been in the past that have been water? Well, we just saw that earlier with Poliwhirl. or Polygraph rather. Yeah, we could use Urshifu, but Urshifu is really a special late add-in Pokemon, so we're just gonna stick to some more basic types, which we're gonna look at Poliwrath. So what does Poliwrath have for extra abilities that we could possibly learn? Well, of course we got the water, Ice Beam. Now, don't forget, a lot of water Pokemon can also learn Ice. So Ice is a big factor there that we have to remember, that we might be able to add in. Earthquake we can hope for. Some of the fighting Pokemon do carry Earthquake with them. Psychic's probably not going to be a case there, I don't think. Brick Break's a big one. Don't know about some dark ability. We don't sure about dark abilities or Draining Punch. We're not sure about that. And unlike the other duck Pokemon that we have here, it's not holding a weapon, so we're not going to have any sword play or anything as far as we can tell. It's going to be interesting how fighting when they have wings and how that's going to work. So we'll see. Maybe it's going to be some sort of like kung fu kind of duck. Who knows? We'll see when it comes out. Of course, we have Surf, Waterfall, Rock Smash. We don't know about Poison Jab. We don't know about those. One other thing we have to remember that with fighting types, we might be able to get the various punching forms. We have the Fire Punch, Ice Punch, and Electrical Punch. So we also have that possibly on the table for what we could see down the road. So let's go over to offense. We're looking at offense now for this. So again, we're your water fighting base. So we got 37% coverage so far. We're not really weak to anything there per se. Of course, every form is different when you have combos. So on the basis right now, we're looking at 7 effectives and 37% coverage. Now we have to get into the nitty-gritty stuff. So let's hope for things. Well, again, Fighting Ground covers a lot of bases. It's only covering an extra 10% there. Let's see here. We could possibly, if we are able to get the punches, we could add Electric and Fire in there. That gives us 71% coverage. So this would be Fire Punch and Electrical Punch. We already have Water. Water will just stick to being Surf because that's actually stronger than the punches. For all we know, this Pokemon could actually have increased punching ability, which is common in some other ones. And the last time we had a Water one, which is in Teleon, I believe, that one did like triple crit damage, which was amazing because I didn't see that the first time. And then when I was writing on Soul Bowl, I was like, oh, Soul Bowl's kind of weird and like that. Turns out that one did the most damage on a hit. I mean, that was ridiculous. When I played through the game, I played through the game twice. I played through Sun and Moon twice. And, Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield was the last one. I played through Sword and Shield twice. And on the second time around, I actually took Soul Bowl. Because when I found that, I was like, oh, wow. So I can do triple damage on a crit? I'll take that. And, yeah. So I took item that gives you automatic crit, gave them the his ultimate ability, and just snipes down and is doing ridiculous amount of damage on water. So don't write off water. Quaxley is kind of the odd duck, for lack of a better term. I know I'm joking there when I say that, but yeah. So hopefully maybe we'll see this. I mean, we could always possibly mix in Ghost maybe in here. We're not really seeing too much damage here. 67% either one there. Could have Ghost with another Ghost Claw ability. I'm not seeing anything really, but don't forget we also have Ice. So we also have Ice Punch too. So Electrical Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch, or Ice Beam. So if we do that, if we do Ice Fire or maybe even Ice Electric, 69%, 67%. I mean, it could go either way there for that. What about Ghost? Ghost Ice. Well, it gives us our 70% we were trying to shoot for. So Fighting Water Ice Ghost, I mean, that could. Definitely could, but the problem is with Ghost is that the third Pokemon we'll talk about in a little bit here. So I don't think Ghost is going to be mixed in there. It's probably going to end up being maybe Ground, 68%. I think that's about as close as we're going to get here for this. I mean, the only other one might be Steel, 64%, Rock. Well, Flying, it is a duck Pokemon. It's probably going to have, like, Flying ability. So we're looking at, like, either Flying or Ground. So we're looking at 68% either way. So Fighting Water, Ice, probably Flying or Ground is probably going to be the other ones. No, I'm not Ground, going to be Flying, but we'll never know. We won't know yet, so... But we'll see. But again, we'll see in November. And so last but not least, let's talk about Fuecoco here. So let's go back to defense mode here. So let's talk about Fuecoco. Now, Fuecoco is the fire starter one, and fire has always been predominantly the most popular one that everybody wants to pick at the beginning. This is everybody's favorite, usually to start with, whether this was Charizard, or even the soccer dude, or even, again, we're talking about Cineroar, again, who is still one of the most used Pokemon that's currently in the PvP scene, even. So one thing that we do know on this Pokemon is this fire. Now, the end game, according to the source, is going to be Ghost. So before we had Decidueye, now we have Fuecoco. So I mean, Grass Ghost is going to be Fire Ghost. And they kind of tell that a little bit with the skull kind of face thing. That was a hint that it was probably going to be undead related. I think Flame Skull from D&D maybe. So yes, this is going to be a undead fire dragon, which is, again, that's going to be cool. Everybody's going to want to get that one again. So I really think this was going to be the popular one again. So again, so what does it mean for defenses? Well, for defenses, we're kind of all over the place here. Now we take 0 damage from normal and fighting, because again, we're Ghost. We're taking 1/4 damage from Bug, because both are halves. And then we're also strong against Poison, Steel, Fire, Grass, Ice, and Fairy. We are taking double damage from Ground, Rock, Ghost, Water, and Dark. However, Ghost is effective against Ghost, so therefore that kind of cancels out. So you can ignore the Ghost part. So we're really looking at Ground, Rock, Dark, and Water. That's really good. That's probably the best setup for late game for types and everything that we're going to see. So that's good. Once again, we don't know the end game names. I know there's a question there. We don't know about the end game names yet. What we do know is that what the types are going to be. Possibly. That's with the leak. And according to this leak, they've been very, very reliable in the past from Pokemon Company. So that's what we're going by for this. So yeah, Fire Ghost. So what are we looking at for Fire Ghost? Well, there's a very popular one back in the day or kind of more recently, it was a remake. We're talking about... I can't even pull it up. We're talking about a Lowland Marowak. Again, Fire Ghost. So this is the one we can get an idea of what possibly some skills we're going to get. Now remember, it's going to be a little bit different because we do have a Bone Club weapon that they're carrying. So some of this is going to be a little bit different. We could see some Fire Punch, Ice Thunder Punch abilities. We could see, of course, we have Fire Spin, Flamethrower, of course. Popular ones that's probably be given probably. Will-O-Wisp is going to be one that we're going to probably see. Brick Break, we hope. Ghost abilities, we'll probably see like Shadow Slash. Probably going to be in there. Ice Beam. Wow, I didn't know Marowak had Ice Beam. I forgot about that. It makes him really cool. And Thunderbolt. Wow. He has Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower. Wow, the lone Marowak's pretty crazy. And Earthquake. Wow. Okay. Shadow Ball. Of course, we have a Ghost Pokemon, so we're going to see Shadow Ball. Dark Pulse, of course, is a possibility because Dark and Ghost kind of go hand in hand when it comes to skill sets. Earth Power. My goodness. This is, wow. Throat Chop from Dark. Yeah, we have a lot of different skills. Iron Head, because we have a skull in our face, so it's probably going to be another one. Of course, there's new abilities that we don't know about that we could get too as well. All we're doing is theory crafting on the direction of what we were thinking about what we start with for endgame. So that's what we're looking at for skills. I mean, we do have a bipedal Pokemon. It's going to be a dinosaur / dragony kind of fire breathing thing. So we're looking at fire. So we're looking at Flamethrower. We're looking at Ghost Slash. We're looking at those kind of things. So let's start with Fire Ghost. To start with 39%. We're the highest percentage of the first two skills already off the bat. So probably ground. We're probably gonna have earthquake again. Probably because we got those really chunky. It's probably gonna be able to stomp the ground for that. Dark's not gonna add much because there's only 1% difference between dark and ghost. So we could see fighting. That gets us over 70%, 71% there. I don't think we're gonna see any electric or ice. Although electric would be sick. That's 75% coverage from that. Only weak, we're only unable to fight really ground and dark with this setup. If we could get electric ability, I have dark in there. Fighting, same thing again. Weak against ground, weak against fighting a little bit. Yeah, so I mean we're looking at again 70% coverage here for skills here. What's most likely going to be. Steel 63%, not that great. Dark again is only 1% difference, like I said. Dragon skills aren't that great. They're only good against Red Dragon, but we can get a fairy Pokemon that's just going to cover it anyways when you progress through the game, so we don't need that. So we can look at it. We're going to hope for electric, but probably going to be fighting. So we're looking at over 70% coverage on that right there. So yeah, we're going to stick to fighting right now because fighting is going to be a likely one to happen. Again, fighting ground. Those two go hand in hand for extras when you try to get rest of coverage for the game. So yeah, that looks good. 71%, 74% if it's going to be electric there. So yeah. By the way, my favorite Pokemon always. Oh, that was always Nidoking. Nidoking, I've been playing since first generation, so Nidoking was the best coverage. He had Ice Beam, he had Thunderbolt, he had Flamethrower, he had Earthquake. So he had the big ones. And just to reference that, here we go: Fire, Ground, Electric, and Ice. Yeah, see, 74% coverage. That's early Pokemon. All you really needed was just Alakazam with Psychic, and that's it. Those are the only two things you really needed, and you could beat the Final Four all day. So that's what we're looking at for types here for that. We'll leave it on the screen for now. So yeah, that's what we're looking at here. So let me know what you guys think about the three starters. Again, going left to right here, Quaxley apparently is going to be a water fighting type. Sprigato is going to be a grass dark type. And apparently, fire guy at the end, Fuecoco's end up going to be a fire ghost type. So yeah, water fighting, grass dark, fire ghost. That's apparently what the leak's going to be in the final three's final forms type subtypes. Well, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you think this really credited leak is true or not. But that's what we're being told. And again, this person has leaked things lots in the past, and they've pretty much always been right. So we can pretty much bank on this is what it's going to be. All right, guys? Well, I am Saberwolf. I hope you enjoy this. I am planning on playing Pokemon in the future. We'll be possibly. I'm going to try to stream it like that on here when I get it, because I do have the Switch attached to the computer now. So yeah. Thank you guys. I'll be playing some. I'm going to switch over to some, probably some Triangle Strategy in a little bit. The baby's down for a nap time. So I'll probably have another half an hour before he wakes up. So we'll see if we can try to sneak in the rest of the chapter here. Alright, guys? Alright. Enjoy. Thank you guys, and have a good night.